Welcome back to the library. I'm Miss Taylor, and I'm your children's librarian here at the Giddings Public Library. Today, we are reading about Americana because it's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Are you ready for a story? It's time for story time. We're going to read Imogene's Last Stand by Candace Fleming. Imogene's Last Stand, written by Candace Fleming and illustrated by Nancy Carpenter. This book is published by Schwartz and Wade Books, New York. Imogene's Last Stand. Littleville, New Hampshire was small. So small, it wasn't even a speck on the state map. Still, Littleville was home to a village green, a general store, a three-legged cat, and a little girl named Imogene Tripp. Imogene loved history. When she was a baby, her first words were 77 years ago. As a preschooler, she finger-painted an accurate map of the Oregon Trail. And as a kindergartner, she used her show-and-tell time to give a series of lectures on important women in history. Now, Imogene's attention was on the Littleville Historical Society. The society, a centuries-old house stuffed with dusty antiques, had sat at the end of Main Street, unloved and unwanted, until Imogene pushed open its creaky front door. "Wow," she exclaimed. "What a mess," added her father. Imogene shook her head. "This isn't a mess, Daddy," she declared. "It's history. And in the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we are made by history." Then she got busy, sweeping away cobwebs, filing old letters, pasting yellowed photographs into albums, identifying fossils, organizing arrowheads, and even refinishing a 4-poster bed. When she was done, Imogene waited and waited to give the townspeople a tour. But, in the immortal words of Davy Crockett, she sighed, "Ain't nobody coming." Finally, one Monday morning, a workman arrived. He pounded a sign into the society's front yard. "Notice, this house will be torn down Saturday, so a shoelace factory can be built in its place. By order of Mayor I.M. Butts." "Torn down?" cried Imogene. "But in the immortal words of William Morris, old buildings do not belong to us. They belonged to our forefathers, and they will belong to our descendants." The workman shrugged. "Tell it to the mayor." So, Imogene did. When she finished, Mayor Butts shook his cheeks. "My position is firm. Out with the old, in with the new." "What about the society?" cried Imogene. "What about history?" "Who cares about history?" snorted the mayor. "Shoelaces will put this town on the map." He showed her the door. Out on the sidewalk, Imogene fumed. "I won't let it happen. In the immortal words of John Paul Jones, I have not yet begun to fight." And fight she did. Tuesday morning, dressed in her Paul Revere costume from Halloween, Imogene galloped up and down Main Street. "The bulldozers are coming! The bulldozers are coming!" she shouted. No one heeded her cry. Finally, Mr. Tuttlewit stepped out of the general store. "Hold your ponies, little missy. Don't you know shoelaces are going to put this town on the map?" Imogene snatched up her stick horse. In the immortal words of Theodore Roosevelt, balderdash. She stomped home to her father. But Wednesday morning, she was at it again. Armed with a stepladder and scotch tape, she tied a red, white, and blue ribbon around every tree, stoplight, stop sign, parking meter, mailbox, fire hydrant, bike rack, baby stroller, and dog collar in town. "Don't let your past get smashed," she cried. But no one joined her cause. Finally, Officer Ditz Williams said, "Those bows are real pretty, honey, but shoelaces will put this town on the map." Imogene frowned and trudged home to her father. But Thursday morning, she was back. Up before dawn, she'd scribbled until her fingers cramped. Then, as the sun rose in the sky, a biplane dipped low over Littleville and dropped hundreds of handmade flyers. "Rally on the village green and save your history," each one read. But no one rallied. Finally, little Abner Pitt pedaled over on his tricycle. "Don't you understand, Emmy? Shoelaces are going to put this town on the map." It was the last straw. "In the immortal words of Chief Joseph," she sighed, "my heart is sick and sad." And she ran home to her father. All too soon, it was Friday. Imogene wandered through her beloved society. "Goodbye, photographs," she sniffled. "Goodbye, fossils and four-poster bed. Goodbye, old letters." A yellow parchment caught her eye. Imogene read it once. She read it twice. She read it aloud. October 16th, 1789. Dear Sir, thank you again for the hospitality you showed me last Tuesday. The oxtail soup was delicious, and the four-poster bed soft as angel clouds. Indeed, I have not slept so well since leaving Mount Vernon. Your humble and obedient servant, G. Washington. Imogene gasped. George Washington? Had he really slept here? Quickly, she wrote a message explaining everything to the renowned Littleville historian, Professor Cornelia Passmatters. "Please hurry," Imogene begged. Then she clicked send and began to pace. Time. If only she had more time. But how could she get some? Inspiration struck, and Imogene sprang into action. When Saturday and the bulldozers arrived, Imogene Tripp stood ready. In the immortal words of the Vietnam War protesters, she shouted, "Heck no, I won't go." The bulldozers growled to a stop, watching, waiting. Her father came on the run. "Imogene, get out of the way." But Imogene squared her shoulders. "Daddy," she declared, "in the immortal words of Abraham Lincoln, a great oak is only a little nut that held its ground. And I am holding my ground." Just then, Mayor Butts huffed up the porch stairs. "Unlock yourself this instant." "Heck no, I won't go," Imogene cried. The mayor whirled on Imogene's father. "Do something." Imogene's father looked from the mayor to his daughter and back again. "Heck no, I won't go," he finally cried. Mayor Butts' nostrils flared. "That pipsqueak can't stay on this porch forever, and when she moves, smash!" He stomped back to the bulldozers. As the sun rose higher, the townsfolk gathered to see what was happening. Mr. Tuttlewood arrived. So did Officer Ditzwilliam and little Abner Pitt. He called out, "You all right, Emmy?" "In the immortal words of President Martin Van Buren, I am okay," she replied firmly. By mid-afternoon, TV reporters had arrived. They rushed to interview the little girl who refused to leave the porch. "In the immortal words of Eleanor Roosevelt, you must do the thing you think you cannot do," Imogene told them. Suddenly, a limousine appeared. Its door opened and out stepped Professor Passmatters, gasped Imogene, followed by the President of the United States, gasped the crowd. The president headed straight for the cameras. "I'm here to declare this house a national landmark." She held up a brass plaque. "George Washington slept here." Imogene whooped, "We did it!" "Yes, indeed," agreed Professor Passmatters. "I'm so proud," said Imogene's father. Little Abner Pitt stepped forward. "Wait," he cried. "What about shoelaces?" "Shoelaces?" Mayor Butts snorted. "Who cares about shoelaces?" He smiled for the cameras. "Why, our town's history will put us on the map." The townspeople cheered. The bulldozers rumbled away. And Imogene plucked the key from her pocket and freed herself. Then everyone, even Mayor Butts, went on a tour of the Littleville Historical Society. "In the immortal words of me," Imogene later said as she waved goodbye to the last of her guests. "That was totally fun." "It sure was," laughed her father. "It sure was." Remember your history, like Imogene, with these fancy tie-dye American flag socks. No tie-dye kit required. all you need is some white clothing. I'm going to use these little ankle socks and some acrylic paint. Now you can use squirt bottles or spray bottles to apply the paint. Whatever you have, whatever's easier. Some water and some rubber bands or string. Now, all you need to do is scrunch up your socks or your t-shirt or whatever you're using. Just give it a scrunch. 100% cotton items work best, but anything will work. Now I need a rubber band. Here we go. You can use string as well. This is just to hold the scrunches that you made in place. So just wrap it around until it holds those little folds nice and tight, or loose, whatever you're going for. Now apply your paint. So I'm gonna put some acrylic paint into my bottle here with water in it. Mix it about half paint, half water. Give it a good shake and put it on. There we go. Now, I've got a red and blue sock. Now this one is partially dry, it's still a little damp, but I'm gonna undo it so you can see what it looks like when it's done. The idea is that the part of the sock that's inside the scrunches stays white because the paint didn't touch it. Ta-da! Thank you for reading with me today. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Have a wonderful and safe Memorial Day. And of course, don't forget to check out our website for more links and activities to learn more about our country's history on this special day and crafts for celebrating and getting into the festivities. I'll see you back here next week on Let's Learn Together Storytime for our very last Let's Learn Together Storytime before summer reading starts. Are you registered for summer reading? If you're not, stop and go to our website right now. All you have to do is go to the summer reading page on our website, fill out the registration form, and then you're ready to go. Then you'll receive an email on June the 8th when the program officially starts with all the information you'll need to win amazing prizes all summer long just for reading with me. I'll see you next time back here at the Giddings Public Library. Be well.